Welcome to News World Today. To get more updates, please subscribe this channel. Czech election result: EU panics as populist Zeman wins, and he welcomes EU referendum. The Czech election has been won by Miloš Zeman, leading to a nightmare for the EU over the president's populist policies and threats to hold a referendum on leaving the bloc. With 99.35% of districts reporting, Mr. Zeman won the runoff election round with 51.55% of the vote to 48.44% for his opponent Jiří Drahos. Pro-EU academic Mr. Drahos conceded defeat this afternoon before the final votes were counted. It means Mr. Zeman, aged 73, has secured a second term in charge of the nation, beating pro-EU academic Drahos. And he did it on the back of a tough stance against immigration and courtship of closer ties with Russia and China. Mr. Zeman has also caused panic in Brussels by failing to rule out his own Brexit-style referendum. During a TV debate, Mr. Zeman said Czech citizens should have a direct say on political issues and that he is not opposed to a referendum on EU membership. He said, "Brexit is a decision that must be respected." Political analyst Michael Romankov said afterwards, Zeman never questioned the Czech membership in the EU, but on the other hand he said he would welcome the referendum on exit, and in practice he significantly deviated from both EU and NATO. Mr. Zeman has declared he was for the adoption of the common currency, in principle, but he does not want to allow Czech taxpayers to pay Greek debt. He said, "The moment Greece leaves the Eurozone or is excluded, I will gladly support it." Speaking to supporters today, Mr. Drahos said, "We did not win, but we didn't lose either. I am terribly happy for this huge wave of energy. I am convinced this energy will not disappear, that it will stay." The Czech constitution gives presidents limited executive powers, but Mr. Zeman has not hesitated to test the boundaries. In 2013, for example, he appointed a caretaker government of his allies for 5 months against the will of parliament. He has benefited from rising Czech hostility to immigration, especially from Muslim countries, although the country received just 116 asylum applications between January and November last year. The country has a Muslim minority of just several thousand, but warnings of security risks and loss of identity feature strongly in public debate. Prime Minister Andrej Babiš, a billionaire businessman who has ruled as a caretaker since his minority cabinet lost a confidence vote in parliament last week, backed Mr. Zeman. And Mr. Zeman has pledged to give Mr. Babiš a second chance to form a government.